Today, we're going to be talking about the GlockStore extended tungsten guide rod for the Gen 5 34 pistol. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So if you follow the channel, you know that I've already tested a bunch of different guide rods for these guns, trying to figure out which guide rod is going to work for my USPSA carry optics gun. So right now I'm shooting the Glock 34 Gen 5 in carry optic. Now I tested some other guide rods that were set up with Wolf springs, and I found that they just didn't hold the slide into battery. And I've got a whole video on that with other guide rods. I'll put a card you can check out. But one of my buddies back in Georgia, Tyler, he's got a channel which I'll leave a link to in the description. You should subscribe to it. He's a GM shooting Glock 34s in production. Put this on my radar. It's an extended tungsten guide rod. And why a tungsten guide rod is something that is desirable in a competition pistol is that it adds about 1.5 ounces to the pistol in a non-reciprocating part. And what that's going to do is going to settle the gun down faster in recoil, as well as just improve the balance and make it feel better in transition. Now, I've tried other systems such as the DPM system, and while that does a good job of helping the gun settle down in recoil, what I found is I kind of missed the weight up front to kind of settle the gun down in transition. Glocks are very light pistols and easy to kind of over transition, and it's easier to just kind of glide onto target with a bit more mass in the muzzle. So the GlockStore tungsten guide rod adds about 1.5 ounces to the front of the gun, which helps it both settle down and recoil faster as well as settle in off a transition. Now you notice that this looks almost like a 1911 full-length guide rod. It comes out beyond the tip of the barrel when the slide is locked back. That is to add additional weight, but it's set up for the ISMI springs. You may be skeptical, I can understand that. Here's some slow-mo footage shooting bill drills at the range. Now this footage is obviously slowed down. I'm shooting about 5 shots per second, which is about a 0.2 split, which is pretty quick. And you can see that the tungsten guide rod does settle the gun out of recoil a bit faster. I don't have any footage of it, but in transition, I assure you the effect is similar. Now, as far as installation is concerned, it is an uncaptured guide rod, which means you're going to have to thread the spring onto the guide rod, then thread the adapter into the slide and install it on, compress the spring and then insert it into the adapter and then seat it onto the barrel. It's a little bit tricky without an optic. With an optic, it's a bit easier than if you're using iron sights, but it's still not that hard. Other guide rods that I've tested come with a standard spring. And if you want to change the weight, then you have to buy an additional spring. The GlockStore actually lets you pick what weight spring you have. Now, I tried a 15-pound spring based on my experience with some other guide rods and springs, and I honestly wish I'd gone a little lighter. I probably will do the old 13-pound ISMI spring, which is pretty standard as far as tuning Glocks is concerned in competition circles. Now, for you self-defense guys, you may not want to shoot your plus P or self-defense full house load 9mm ammo with that. You can do it for a little while, but you might accelerate the wear and tear on the gun if you do fire a lot of full power loads with the reduced power spring. For you self-defense guys, the 15-pound spring that I got with is pretty close to OEM weight. It's just a little bit reduced, so that might be a good weight to start at. And as I showed in the B-roll there, it absolutely does a great job holding the slide in battery, which is a problem on some other of the guide rods featuring Wolf springs. Now, thanks to the good sensors we have at YouTube, I can't link this directly to you if it's something you want to check out, but I bet you could probably figure it out using a search engine on where you can find one of these. As far as what a tungsten guide rod is going to be legal for, this is pretty much legal in production division in USPSA and carry optics in USPSA. If you're shooting IDPA, then you can't use tungsten. You have to use a stainless steel guide rod. So I think they sell those too. There's probably several options, but if you're shooting a Gen 5, you really want something that is machined for the ISMI springs, which the GlockStore guide rod is. I want to thank the GlockStore for sending this to me to try. I have enjoyed it. I'm going to open up my wallet and put this in my other Match 34 as well. This is definitely going to be a fixture in my competition guns. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. That is, unless you're still watching, in which case you like to play the comment game, because this is the internet and the comments live forever. Today's challenge is to make a comment so believable that most of the internet will believe it to be true and that you're serious. So I need a little bit of light trolling from you guys, and today's topic is going to be alternate materials for guide rods that you like in your competition guns. Everybody uses stainless steel. Now folks are using tungsten. I want you to tell me what you use for the material in your ideal guide rod. And if you do, you will get the heart of the creator, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate it, guys.